Hello, I'm Taylor Cat and welcome to my channel. Today we're playing The Letter. Still, this is a very long game. When they said extreme visual novel, they weren't kidding. Um, Previously, Ashton and Luke got into a gunfight. Ashton won. Not that they actually shot, but Ashton just begged because I thought that was the smartest choice. And, in the middle of, but do you just want me to be a good boy even though you keep breaking into my house? Sort of arguments going on there. We look up at the stairs and it's Hannah and the ghost has her. And then it's like, da da da, Luke. We figure out he's a son of a prostitute, never finished high school, which is not where I thought we were going to go for him. But yeah, but it does make sense. He has to make himself look bigger than he is all the time. But yeah, that's where we left off. Alright, let's continue with Luke's story. But her breathing soon, I'm not doing a British accent right now. No, it's not gonna happen. But her breathing soon evens itself out. A good thing too, and before I know it, she's fallen asleep. If only it would be as easy for me. I certainly don't envy her, but I don't particularly like how my mind runs right now. Battered and frayed, clutching at straws and asking myself if I'll really let myself fall apart in this moment. It's alarming how just the thought of losing her could break me, pregnant or not.
And if that mockingbird don't sing, I'm gonna get you a diamond ring.
I've already lost my mother, the only other woman I've ever truly loved in my life. And without knowing then, as a young man, that would be a great part of me. That would wound a great part of me. I am aware now of how scarred I am, for a lack of a better term. And if anything ever happens to Hannah, well, I don't know what I'd do after the fact. Would the loss drive me insane? Would I become mad and swear bloody vengeance on a world that deserves less than her? Would I end up drowning in sorrow and guilt until I end up drinking one night and figuring a bullet is as good a way to go? Or, perish the thought, would I become like my father? One who had no further love for anything, not others or even objects or self? The vainglorious mogul that worked and worked for the sake of succeeding in the search of happiness that would never come.
And if that diamond ring turns brass, we're gonna go to fields of grass.
For some reason, I never thought too far after the diamond ring. Yeah. Or thought different words came afterwards. I never thought too deeply about this song. For a long while, I was that man, wasn't I? Pursuing gold and glory, nothing else. Bloody hell, I even started courting Hannah for the money her family had. She was a mark to be attained, which I kind of thought she was. She was just so bright. And I don't mean intelligent, though. She is certainly that too. No, she was bright in a manner that she could bring such sunshine to anyone's dreary life. There we go. I thought I would need to put on a mask with her, just like with all the others. But if anything else, she made it feel so constricting, suffocating, when I pulled off the mask on my own. I had wanted to be myself around her, just as she was so willfully showing her real self to those around her. It wasn't some sudden realization. There was no eureka moment. It just happened.
And in those fields where we roam, we'll take daffodils for our home.
We would meet up and talk about business, but then those could only last for so long. After a few dozen dates, we ended up talking about other things, little things that didn't seem to matter so much. Inconsequential things that one would end up forgetting in the grand scheme of things. Good food, good music, dogs, the film we just saw, books we've been reading while we're apart, and places we want to go to. Things that weren't important suddenly are. It confused me so much, but I was happy. And at some point, I told myself that this was the woman I wanted to spend my life with. Then I would forget that a lot. It was out of some misguided need to be my own person, to not be defined by anyone else. I refused to put her on a pedestal or to make her the center of my universe, married or not. We were our own person at the end of the day. But I would forget too. At the very least, remember that she was there with me.
And if those daffodils die and wilt, we'll still have the home that we built.
Aw, that's a cute song. I always just think about the bird part and the ring part and don't remember much else. She made me better, but I am, still me, to an extent. Still the son of a bitch that has something to prove. I forget it again and again, no matter how hard I try. I'll spend extra hours at the office for something or another, to have favorable stocks or take care of a debt or something. Sometimes I'll even bring work home if I haven't gone to drink and destroy my liver. Don't forget the affairs. For someone you love so much, you sure do sleep around there. I'll flaunt the riches, some of which aren't even rightfully mine in the first place, and lord myself over everyone else because I fucking deserve it. Because that is how I prove myself. And I don't even have to prove myself to Hana. Sometimes, I wonder, had we met under different circumstances, had I grown up in a different way, would all this be any better? Would we be any happier?
Good night, my sunshine.
Journal updated. Now, there's a thought. Oh, dreamy red bubbles. That's what that scene always means.
Mommy, what happened? You were wiggling and shaking, and you wouldn't stop even if I was shouting.
First of all, it's very confusing hearing that voice, but he's still, him. That face. The douche face. I guess it's more like dust than bubbles, but whatever, semantics.
I'm so sorry I shouted at you, Mommy.
Shh, don't cry. My little ball of sunshine's not supposed to cry, is he?
Oh, right, I was going to read a journal, wasn't I?
Don't you worry. Mummy is just a little sick, but she'll get better. I've got a new job now, and I can get medicine again, okay? And we'll buy some bread pudding, too, while we're at it.
Please don't do that again, Mommy. It's scary.
It's okay. I'm here. You've got nothing to fear. But you have to be brave, too, Lucille. Even when I'm not around. Be brave.
Ooh. Thumpa, 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 thumpa. While we do that, I'm going to read the journal that I forgot about. Remembering what. So for you guys, this looks like I'm doing this all actual back to back, but I actually was just looking at my phone and got distracted. Okay. Journal entries. Did I pass it? There it is. After what seemed to be a seizure, Johannes found the couple in the kitchen and helped usher the weak woman to the master's bedroom. Luke elected to stay with Hannah today to care for her. Singing a lullaby until sleep came over the both of them. Them both. Okay. I choked back a scream and wake up in a cold sweat. With my heart pounding in my ears, it takes a while to remember where I am. In a creepy bedroom in a creepy haunted mansion with a super scary ghost chick. Two super scary ghost chicks. Actually, in the dark, cold of the room, one can't fault me for feeling ill at ease. I've been wondering, is he aware there's something in this house? Because in the beginning, they're like, oh, there's a shadow over him. Certainly he's felt something, right? If it isn't as bright as the penthouse, and the renovations did a little to change how old it feels. We've been here for less than a week. It'll take a bit more time to adjust. It's hard to believe they've been there less than a week. It's hard to feel cozy, though, when I'm bloody freezing. Nudging the lump of fabric next to me, I sigh.
It's cold. Don't hog the sheets, Hana.
It, this is, I feel like this image is too early for what's happening. She always did this, though. It hardly bothers me. Growing up, I was lucky to have something to use as a mattress. Not the one who grew up accustomed to Egyptian cotton with a thread count of 800. Besides, the warmth that Hana exuded on her own is usually enough to keep me sleeping through the night. The temperature tonight must be something else, with how chilly it is right now. I must be considerate. After all, poor dear is ill, though I loathe to think about what had just transpired.
Don't make me pull those sheets off you. That blanket is large enough to cover an elephant. You will need to share.
It takes a while.
What was that, honey? Apologies. I'm just in a loo, so if you can give me a moment.
Well, that's not a great thing to hear. There's no sign that they'll be moving where they lie. With care, I go for a knife. And another. You just casually have a knife at your bed? Okay. On the other side of my bed. It'd be foolish of me to instigate anything while I'm unarmed, after all. To pull back the covers would be a more difficult affair because reaching out to uncover what was underneath, I have to prepare for anything and assume the worst. If so much as I see the nozzle of a gun, there's going to be a murder tonight. I know they say not to bring a knife to a gunfight, but I think I can sink the blade in his liver faster than he can point and aim. Why is it he, though? We don't know. Luke, it could be a chick under there. You certainly made an enemy of a lot of them. I see the rise and fall of the sheets, though could easily be mistaken for the fault of the breeze. I hear their breathing. That's never good. A great sense of foreboding comes over me, making me hesitate with my plan. I should just get Hana and myself out of here, not look back, and let security handle it. That's what they're there for. Or maybe I should just man up. There's no way I'm risking the chance that an action put Hana in danger. But what's the worst that could happen, right? I've no reason to be afraid. What's the worst that can happen? Even after you stab the person, they don't die right away. They can still shoot your face. There's no boogeyman. Under the bed. No monster in my closet. If anything, these things should be afraid of me. Oh, no. Don't say that. That's when all of the creepy crawly ghosties come out. Right? That sounded like real tough guy thought. I grab a fistful of sheets and throw them aside. Ooh, is she under there? Oh, that was amusing. That was very clever. with the scroll down, the da-da-da-da-da-da. Fade. Nothing. Nothing. Ah. It'd be funny if it was a raccoon, though. He would have hated that. Nothing but a bunch of pillows stare back at me. Must be my imagination. I'd rather not think I'm going mad. You felt creeped out by the mirror, right? The mirror that had the chick in it. And he's like, yeah, I'm not keeping this in here. It's creepy. It makes me feel weird. I'm going to put a picture of something else instead. I can't believe, like, he's not creeped out. Okay, well, I guess he is creeped out, but, you know, he's not going, yeah, something's in this house. Like, his story isn't starting sooner. There it be. Luke woke up in the middle of a nightmare with a scream. No, he didn't. He held back a scream. And in cold sweat. Finding comfort in the warm body next to his, he tried to get back to sleep and forget the images plaguing his mind until Hana called from the loo. That's not what happened. What happened was he had a nightmare, woke up, he's like, man, it's kind of cold. Hey, Sweetums, my ball of sunshine daffodil face, that blanket's big enough for an elephant. Share it, please. And then Hana calls out to him, oh, I'm in the loo, dear. And I'm like, that's not the same thing at all. You lied, Journal. You lied to me. How could you? And at least he didn't stab the sheet. Imagine trying to explain that to your wife. Dear, why is there a hole in the sheet? Oh, you know how it is. Just one of my sealing knives fell down. It could very well be the stress getting to me. All of this drama with Hana, the chick I may or may not have slept with, honestly can't remember, sleeping with a bunch of random people. I've been doing well all these years. All things considered, I guess. I do have a breaking point. But still, the world goes on even if one cannot, and I must go along with it. I suppose a day off or two tomorrow wouldn't hurt. Rest aside from a few hours of sleep will be welcoming more than... But I couldn't shake off the unease. I dare say that I feel afraid, irrationally, that something will come creeping and crawling from under the bed even as I lay back down and close my eyes. I guess not. Okay. The odd dreams don't linger, thankfully. But with the morning comes another disturbance. It's Zach! It has to be, right? Who else would it be? The time matches, doesn't it? I don't know, I've had to see a lot of dates in this game. both too loud and too sharp for my tastes. And I have very fine tastes. When the piercing rings When the piercing rings of a doorbell reaches even the bedroom, I'm very much inclined to think the person who built this place lacks any sense of it. Perhaps the only thing good in this is that the ruckus has chased away the needling guilt from last night's commotion, if only temporarily. Still, it's a bloody annoying distraction. I can tell already that it's going to be a long day. It hasn't even started. Before the racket even lasted another minute, I'm peeling myself off the bed and heading straight for the main door. There'll be a murder today. You're feeling awfully murdery today, Luke. If I see a nozzle of a gun, there will be a murder. There will be a murder if it doesn't let up. How quaint. It seems everything in this blasted universe is interested in getting in my nerves. As of late, in my nerves. Is that like a European thing? Instead of getting all my nerves, they get in nerves?
Gordon Bennett! Only a Nancy would knock at such an ungodly hour!
Don't know what that means. In the first place, I shouldn't be the one doing this. This is why I hired a valet. For fuck's sake.
Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Where is Hansi? I'll be honest, if only for today. With the mansion this quiet as at this hour of the morning, it's easy to believe those little ghost stories might be real. But the only horror here is the news Hannah has brought forth yesterday, and the very idea of being a father. Neither the deafening silence nor the biting chill spreading across every room in the place. My wife is pregnant. Bloody bollocks. There's no place for fear when another set of problems already burns that fuel. So, I'll wait for another second. When no butler still answers my call, I simply yank the doors open myself, perhaps more force than needed. And maybe it should be appropriately there, considering the person on the other side and the hour he dared appear on my doorstep. Oh. Even someone with half a brain knows not to disturb anyone this early. Brief confusion quickly gives way to anger, and before the bloody photographer can even get a word in, I'm hurling venom at him. It's less than he deserves, really. See, he goes from being a type of person where, like, I understand, Luke. Your life sucked, and now you're kind of just peacocking through it, and then you're like in this cycle of I don't deserve this, but I love her, but I don't deserve this. And then you go and say shit like that, and then it's like, nope, still a dick. He's really hard to like. And then again, I think Becca's hard to like, so maybe I'm just choosy. Just want to make sure I didn't skip anything. Hannah will disapprove, scold me for treating the man with such disrespect. If she hears me right now, is he going to say something that I'm not supposed to say? She seems fond of him, after all, treats him like a friend she's known for years. But she's not here, is she? Isn't she? When what she doesn't know.
You! Again! It's bloody 6 in the morning! What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time! Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't!
This is still my home. My rules also apply in this place, as much as Hana's do. As simple as that.
Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep.
It just so happens it's also a person I will never take a liking to. No need for remorse.
Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
He continues shouting, even as I slam the door in his face. Some nonsense about the news lately, though I don't understand most of it. However, with the closed doors muffling the better part of it, and with no ears to listen to, his tirade doesn't last too long. Eventually he leaves, and silence once again fills the room, as it should. In hindsight, maybe I should also call for a psychiatric service. Okay, psychiatric services. He certainly sounded mental, just screaming like that. A suspicious man like him, left roaming the immediate grounds, nothing good could come of it. But if his presence will indeed bring problem, a sign or of bad things to come, I'll probably know soon enough. Worst comes to worst, sure, I'm not, you know what? I am going to look up any words that are kind of foreign or slingy, because given Luke's history with things that he says, I'm not about to, just throw out really, really terrible words. Okay, it doesn't seem like that one is. It's like frightened or something like that. Okay. Shocking. We'll take care of it if need be. If it means something worse, I apologize. It's what I'm paying him for. I want to hear Hans' story. In the meantime, the bigger problem at hand, it's on a whim that I've chosen to cook. Sure, I have a lot of other things I could have done instead, but cooking distracts me, and I do find it relaxing on the rare occasion I step up to the task. It looks very not American. I don't know what that is. It's not pancakes. On the tray, 2 plates of roti paired with spicy beans, boiled eggs, hash browns, and bacon topped off with peppers. Croquettes and akis. I know what croquettes are. Love croquettes. Super delicious. Love all things potato. I don't know what the other thing is. I can't get back to sleep after my abrupt awakening earlier. Although, I did think about drinking to get some of the force the 40 weeks. Your mom was an alcoholic. You know what happens. Stop drinking all the time. I've changed my mind at the reminder that my very pregnant wife is sick in bed. Good boy. I love my alcohol, no doubt. But there are times when even I shouldn't drink like most of the time. As it is, I'm running on nothing but 2 cups of coffee. But before I can even shake Hana awake and present her with what I've prepared, a knock interrupts me. Leaving the tray on the table, I open the door to be greeted by none other than Shrucken. The sight of his grumpy face is enough to dampen my good mood, and I can only follow when he gestures towards the hallway. I have questions as to why he would be bothering me at this hour in the morning, but going by the grim, or rather grimmer than usual air about him, must be something serious. The man stands there, as relaxed and cool as can be, but his eyes hold an intensity that promises nothing but trouble.
I do hope I wasn't interrupting anything.
Well, I have plans. Slipping in is one of them, too. But apparently, the world conspires against me.
He's so dramatic.
What do you want?
If you wish to sleep so badly, feel free to tuck yourself back in bed. I thought you ought to know that we've had an intruder.
And sue me if that doesn't pique my curiosity. Intruders, thieves, who would dare set foot into my house and try to rob me where rare? Okay, there we go. If they had any form of experience, they have an idea not to mess with the rights, no matter how tempting our riches may be. But I did not meet attempted robberies did not happen. What was strange about this one is the fact that Shrucken thought it was important to bring to my attention. Oftentimes they deal with pests because I wouldn't really care how they take care of it, so...
This needs my attention, why? Are they any danger?
Actually, I think I'll let you be the judge of that. He's down in the parlor. Come on.
Oh. It's Zach, isn't it? Because he got caught. Oh no. I glanced at the bedroom door, hoping to goodness that Hana would remain fast asleep before following him downstairs. Through the I'm not going to call it a foyer for him. I'm going to call it a foyer. Through the foyer and into the parlor, there a familiar man sits unconscious, tied to one of the chairs.
I thought I heard something scurrying around. As it turns out, it's a giant rat, and one that had pretended to be a harmless mouse, too.
Yep. Okay. It's that black man. The one who called himself friend of Hana's. I'm going to end the episode here. We'll see what... Well, I guess we kind of know what Luke does to Zach. But whatever. In the next episode, I am Tailcat. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.